Our coverage continues tonight on the passing of President Jimmy Carter. His hometown of Plains is preparing for his motorcade to accompany his body along a route that will stop by several landmarks on his way here to Atlanta.
That is all happening Saturday, and tonight we're shining a light on the lasting legacy President Carter left behind. We do have team coverage tonight in Sumter County, starting with our Joe Ripley joining us live from Jimmy Carter's hometown of Plains. Hey, Joe.
Hey, good evening, Angelina. So obviously the mood here is pretty bittersweet in Plains. That's how I would describe it. Sad to lose such a powerful presence in the form of President Jimmy Carter, but also proud of the same man who called Plains home, a chance to honor him from his hometown and lay him to rest. President Carter spending several years in politics, as we know, but after he left the White House in 1981, he and his wife Rosalind worked to spread and preserve democracy around the world. They did that through the Carter Center based in Atlanta. The Carters championed human rights, health care efforts, and social justice reform. Avery Davis Roberts worked for the Carter Center for over 20 years. She says the bedrock to a good democracy isn't just voting, it's having a voice in your community, whether you're in the United States or all around the world.
That work really is the responsibility of all of us. We all have to do that work, and we're no better sort of servant leaders than President and Mrs. Carter, and I think they would encourage all of us to sort of take up that mantle and continue to do this work.
You will notice the barricades standing behind me lining the motorcade route that President Carter's body will take after he leaves Phoebe Sumter Hospital there in Americus. That is where we find our Rebecca Lindstrom, who's picking our coverage up from there. Rebecca.
The hospital here has now created a memorial space for people in the Americus area to come and leave flowers and notes. And they've given us more information about how the public can participate in that motorcade that will be taking place on Saturday. Carter heads from Americus to Atlanta. They don't know exactly how many people to expect, but they say that the hospital staff will actually stand on the sidewalk behind me, and then the public is welcome to come here where I am to the Pecan Grove. This lines the entrance to the hospital as well as Highway 280. The roads in this area will be closed by 9 a.m. So even though the motorcade isn't expected to leave here until 10:30, if you want to participate in this, you are going to need to get here early. The past few days, we've had the opportunity to talk with people throughout Americus, and we spoke with the mayor, who said this really shouldn't be a reflection of the past. Instead, this should be a challenge for how we should be living our life now, especially as it relates to community service.
Through the Plains Better Hometown, Friends of the Jimmy Carter National Historical Park, he was involved in every aspect of the life of that community and the life of the county. As long as he was able, he was involved and engaged. So to me, it is a message from that generation to stay engaged, don't quit.
While Mayor Kenneman was teaching history before he became mayor, he worked with his students to create a documentary about the community surrounding Mr. Carter's boyhood farm in Archery, Georgia. And then later he worked with him to create the Sam Shortline Railroad to help boost tourism in this area. Both legacies that are going to live on, and you can be sure that on Saturday there will be folks from this community who come out here to just say farewell to a friend. Live in Americus, Rebecca Lindstrom, 11 Alive News.
Thank you, Rebecca. And we will be sharing the start of President Carter's state funeral service this Saturday right here on 11 Alive. We'll also be streaming on 11 Alive Plus. The app is free to download on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV.